Hello everybody and welcome to Working Title Productions. I'm Ben, he's Ed, and he's taking off his shoes. That's respectable. I should do the same thing.
Did I say you could take off your shoes in my house?
We're here to bring you another episode of Movie Talk. This is another review coming at you. If you're keeping up with us weekly, it should be no surprise that this is our Doctor Strange review. And we're going to do that right now, possibly. Ed's pulling up some stuff.
I'm just pulling Doctor Strange up on IMDb so that I don't look stupid when I'm asked to name actors and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Because I don't know who half the people in this movie are.
I do. For some reason. I'll get us started off. Straight away, this is definitely not the same as most of your other Marvel films. They have garnered a bit of a reputation over the years for being a little bit formulaic. They've started to chip away at that with films like Guardians of the Galaxy and the last two Captain America films. And this film really helps to just sort of do away with that whole idea. Doctor Strange is a very different kind of movie to all the Marvel films that have come before it. It does away with a lot of conventions that Marvel films usually have, as well as a lot of conventions that films in general tend to have. And it's very refreshing to see that. Dr. Stephen Strange is a character. I hear people comparing him a lot to Tony Stark's Iron Man. I couldn't agree with that less. I think the only thing they have in common is that they're both very arrogant and they both happen to have a lot of money. Other than that, they're very, very different characters.
Okay.
Okay?
I can see
so
I can see the similarities.
Alright. Look,
Do you want to go through them?
let's not go into too much depth. You can do it.
I don't know, super rich, egotistical, self-centered man who's successful in his field gets into a horrible accident that's also of his own making before being placed into a situation that allows him to reevaluate his circumstances and his outlook on life. Am I wrong?
Putting it vaguely, then yes, absolutely.
I'm absolutely wrong?
No, you're far from absolutely wrong. The way I see it, though, is that Iron Man is the character who learns to stop being arrogant and learns to appreciate other things, whereas Doctor Strange is still just inherently arrogant. He just also learns to broaden his view and appreciate some more things as well. The whole supporting cast in this film is great. Benedict Cumberbatch does an amazing job as Doctor Strange. I'm not American. I'm no expert on American accents, but for the most part, I found his to be very convincing, especially considering what he sounds like when he's not acting. It was very impressive. Ed,
yeah, I didn't even think about his accent. It just sounded like a New York neurosurgeon, and I was like, cool, dope, sick one. Yeah, he was good. I was thinking like, it's he doesn't have. He's not given heaps of range to it. Like he's given some, like obviously, like immediate post-accident sort of thing, and when he's first discovering things about magic sort of stuff. Like he's given stuff to work with there, but for the most part, final act Stephen Strange isn't all that dissimilar to opening act Stephen Strange.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the way, like there's a particular sequence I'm thinking about that's in the final act. Where he's interacting with someone else, and it's very much like this, like very self-confident, like I know exactly what I'm doing. I like just completely in control of like the moment and he's like that in Act 1 as well when he's being a neurosurgeon. So, yeah, like
it's true to the character.
Yeah, exactly. Like with I don't want to say with what he's given because the writing's pretty solid, but like. I'll just leave it at that. He does a pretty good job with what he needs to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a better way of saying it.
There's nothing like super outstanding about the character of Stephen Strange in terms of like story arc. He's mostly the same character, but not in a bad way. It's not like he doesn't learn anything. It's just that what he learns isn't like this huge game-changing idea. It's like, I can learn to accept these things and move on with my life. The trailers make it look like it's all this huge spectacle, crazy drama stuff, worlds collapsing and all of that. And the truth is, most of what they're doing has little consequence to the outside world. It's mostly about these factions within the mystical arts community fighting each other. Towards the end, obviously the third act, there is consequences. But what's really refreshing about that is that the bad guy of the movie, Mads Mikkelsen's character, doesn't see himself as the bad guy. He thinks he's saving the world. What he's trying to do is bring everybody... I'm not going to say what. That'll spoil the movie. He's trying to bring everybody something. And then Doctor Strange and Mordo? Yeah, Mordo. Chiwetel Ejiofor's character. And the Asian one played by Tilda Swinton, they see things differently. And unlike other Marvel villains who are very cut and dry and rather boring, you understand what Mads Mikkelsen's character is going for. You understand why he's doing what he's doing. Even if you don't agree with it, it's like, I can see how you got there. I can see how you feel betrayed. It's very interesting. It was so refreshing to actually have an interesting Marvel villain for once. Ed, what do you reckon?
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen was really good. Like, I've really liked the old Mads since Casino Royale. Like, he's phenomenal in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Even if I haven't seen him much since, he's been doing really good work on Hannibal, even though I don't watch Hannibal because I don't like horror. But like, and it just seems like he's just an actor who just like is just like really good at just these like weird roles, and this is one of them. Like to think, it's weird. Like to think of any other actor in this role, I don't see it working compared to how Mads Mikkelsen is able to do it. Like it just works. Like
he brings a certain gravity to it.
Yeah, definitely. Like he's a very intense actor, and it works in this really well.
Yeah. The idea that when all of these big spectacle fights happen, it's not just spectacle. It actually serves the story. It's all very coherent and adds very well to what they're trying to tell.
Yeah, like the way they explain the way that the realms work and how you can draw powers from all the different realms, and it makes sense. Like all that like visually crazy stuff we saw in the trailers and stuff. Like I was really worried out there just like doing cool animated stuff for the sake of doing cool animated stuff, but like it's actually like makes a lot of sense when I think about it. Like
it really does.
Because I like fantasy. I do like I run a D&D campaign and stuff, and just like the way they explain everything, I was like, oh yeah, fantastic, this makes sense. And yeah, it was cool. Like there are still some questions that I have, like how does the dark world, how does the dark realm
it must be the dark realm, because the dark world is in Thor.
Yeah, like there are just like a couple of things there, like how does the dark realm actually corrupt people isn't really explained, or like exactly just how everything works. It's kind of just like these are things, and they're things, and
because movie,
and yes, like it's a lot of that, and you kind of just go with it because it's cool, and a lot of the different realms are really visually cool, and you're like, yeah, I can get behind this.
I would say you go with it first of all because this film is very visually interesting and it does a lot to keep you engaged. Like through all of the crazy mind-bending stuff that's happening, they managed to keep you focused and engaged on the right parts of the frame so that you're never lost when New York is being flipped on its head. You can still follow all the action. And then the second and far more important thing is that you care about these characters. These characters are very, very real in a world which is quite fantastical. Iron Man asks you to believe that Tony Stark can build a suit of armor that he wears. Captain America asks you to believe that a man can be injected with a special serum and become stronger. Doctor Strange asks you to do some crazy leaps in belief. Like, you have to believe in all of these other realms that you're not in contact with. You have to believe that a person's soul can be separated from their body and still be in control. You have to believe that...
That made perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
Astral Projection, that's like one of the oldest tricks in the book.
Yeah, but like they explain it, but it's still a lot of leaps and bounds to ask a viewer to take. And the film does a really good job of doing that, and you believe it because these characters feel so real. Sometimes I thought it was a little too jokey. Like, for the most part, the joke's correct. I found myself laughing a lot. And other times I was like, wait, weren't we supposed to be having a moment here? Like, and it just drew me out just a little bit. I was like, that didn't quite work there. Some of the jokes don't always hit. Most of them do. It's fine. This film gets a lot more right than it gets wrong. Let's put it that way.
Pacing's really good.
The pacing is excellent.
Yeah.
Like,
very well paced.
I was holding on. I needed to go to the bathroom.
Like the opening sequence.
Good gold. I was holding on. I needed to go to the bathroom for a long time. Like, next scene. Something will happen. It will slow down, and I will go to the bathroom then. And it just didn't. I was holding on for ages. Finally, you went.
I think I chose the best part of the movie.
You really did.
Yeah, I was just like, I can sense that this is a low moment. I'm gonna go to the toilet.
And I was gonna go too. I'm like, we can't both go. Someone's got to stay and explain what happens to the other. So you went, came back, and I was like, right, I have to go. And I sort of missed the best opportunity. But that's a real credit to the film. I didn't miss much, but I still missed something, and that's the point.
It was just someone monologuing.
Yeah. The film, monologuing, sure, but doesn't make it any less important, does it? It was still a good part of the story. The film does a really great job of keeping you engaged and making you suspend your disbelief. Like, you just really accept everything that's happening here. Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The cinematography is crazy. It's just not quite... I don't want to use psychedelic, but I can't think of any better word right now. Ed, what do you reckon?
What, in psychedelic to describe the visual style?
Yeah.
No, I've got no idea. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just... I'm
going to go with psychedelic.
Yeah. I feel there's like a better word, like right in like somewhere in my brain. I just can't quite grasp onto it.
You need to widen your keyhole.
Don't say things like that, Ben. The movie's not real.
It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah, I can't even think of things to say. Like, it was just like...
It's a character-driven movie. It really is. Rachel McAdams' character is...
Is it? I felt it was more plot-driven.
You're right. It's a plot-driven film grounded by its characters.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams' character is...
Not really in it
the
much.
Generic strong female type. But, like, there's this moment, and it's, like, her and Doctor Strange, and, like, face-to-face. It's really intense for a really long time. And, like, are they going to kiss? They're building up to a kiss here. They're building up to the kiss, and it's going to come in 3, 2, 1. And then she kisses him on the cheek instead, and it's, like, this very subtle difference. Like, she could have kissed him on the lips and done the whole typical Hollywood thing. It's like, no. This is a woman who was hurt by him quite brutally, and so she's not like willing...
Emotionally, not physically, don't worry.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yes, because that's so much better. I mean... Okay.
I mean, on one side we've got domestic violence, on the other side we just have a bad breakup, so...
It's fine. Yeah, that's right. But like, so she kisses him on the cheek because she can see he's getting better, but, you know, you can't just instantly forgive someone for what Strange did to her. And this film's very consistent like that. Every decision these characters make makes a lot of sense, you know. There's not much that doesn't make sense, you know. That's saying a lot, because this film's got all kinds of crazy magic in it. For lack of a better word, magic and spells. Yeah. Alright, I'm pretty much finished. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just building on that last point, I agree that in a movie, funnily enough, that's about worlds, as soon as Stephen Strange discovers the mystic world, the real world doesn't really matter that much anymore in the eyes of the movie. Like, so many, like, think about a movie like Iron Man, and like the final sequence is him always like rolling back home, and he like meets up with Pepper or whatever, or Jarvis, either or, and it's like him monologuing over him doing whatever. Like Iron Man 3 is him destroying the suits and getting rid of that stuff. Like, this movie is like, once it's in the mystic world, like, that's the movie.
It's worth noting that both post-credit scenes are well worth watching. We won't talk about them here. We'll leave them to you to enjoy. But they are certainly worth a watch. They're worth the wait around. Try and spot some friends' names. I spotted a friend's name in the credits. Now I'm going to be like, hey, you didn't tell me you were in Doctor Strange. What the hell?
That he worked on Doctor Strange. It's very much under technical...
Tomatoes. Anyway.
Tell that to Benedict Cumberbatch, who's earning who knows how much money, and VFX guy number 35 earning
less
loose change.
It's brutal. Probably right though.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood, indeed. That said, as far as Hollywood films go, this is one of the far more enjoyable ones. This is a much more refreshing viewing after most of the generic glug that has come through 2016. I had a lot of fun with this film, and I'm guessing you had a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to wrap this up.
That's what I'm going to say. Doctor Strange gets his power, gets really good really quickly. It's weird.
No, time passes. It's just
I know time passes.
Film-wise, no time passes. But within the story, lots of time has passed. Yeah. They just don't show it to you. That is a good point, actually. They don't do the best job of conveying how much time has passed. And even
when he's, trying to learn something new, randomly, out of nowhere, he's really good at it.
He does conveniently have photographic memory. It's I've got photographic memory. It's
see, that's not that much of a leap for me. Think about how many different degrees he's got. But, think about when he first picks up the eye of whatever you call it.
Mm.
And, he's just
what does he do? It's
well, he has to open it first. So, open.
Yeah. I can't remember the hands.
And then he does these ones to get the thing, and then he suddenly master of it. And then he nearly destroys time itself. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's only time. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of ratings, I give this a go watch it in VMAX out of 10. Maybe if you've got the money to spend, go watch this in IMAX, because this would be quite enjoyable. I'll never recommend 3D to anyone. I hate 3D technology, but that's besides the point. If you want to fork out the extra dosh to see this with the greater spectacle, the better technology, this is probably the film to do it on. So if you're one of those people, go check that out. For everybody else, VMAX, bigger screen over your standard cinema. We have event cinemas here. We do VMAX. That's the way we watched it. I would recommend you do that.
Looks good.
This film is definitely worth seeing once in more than just a standard cinema viewing. Go watch it with friends. It's definitely one to go watch with a whole group of people. This is a lot of fun to be had. Ed, you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it's good stuff. If you're
watch it out of 10, maybe not.
If you're a comic book fan, there is absolutely no reason why you should pass this up.
That is a great point. Absolutely, comic book fans should love this more than most. That's all we've got time for today. Not really. That's all we're going to say today. If you've enjoyed this review, you can subscribe below and check out all the other videos we do. We have a Facebook page, www.facebook.com/workingtitleYouTube. You can tweet to both of us. Ed's a great active Twitter user, at Edward Knight. I'm a not so active Twitter user, but if you tweet me, I'll eventually respond, at BenjWaters01. Like this video and share it as well. We always appreciate the support, and if you would do that, we would be eternally grateful. That sounded so cynical. I'm sorry. We really are grateful, though. And until next time, guys, have a good one.